My name is Tony Anammah. I'm currently project director in MEBS Global Reach for the Global Fund 4-year contracts they won for the distribution, warehousing and distribution of malaria commodities in Nigeria. I'm a pharmacist, that's my first degree, but over the past 20 years, I have been in the field of health programs, implementation, with specialty and zeroing my expertise in supply chain management, procurement, logistics, and supply chain management. Okay, I will say this. I'm one of the members of IAPHL from way back, as far back as when my career started, which I think is one of the questions you're going to ask me. But let me focus on the IAPHL part. We have very big dreams about what IAPHL, but let me leave about the dreams now for now. IAPHL has helped me in the course of networking with other public health logisticians. IAPHL have been the repository of data that I look at. They get all this information from the different players in the industry spread across the world. IAPHL have been equally where I look for jobs. I can say that, a very good source of information, workshops, and trainings. And, the truth is IAPHL has now gone beyond just logistics. IAPHL is the repository, one-stop shop for networking, professional development, for everything from procurement, logistics, and supply chain management. And at the beginning of my career, when IAPHL was still being formed, when I was working for GSI, I've always played an active role. From when I was in GSI to Chemonics, I think we hosted a couple of meetings, giving my support to IAPHL in Nigeria, and to a little extent, my work in Uganda, I kind of stirred up the group there to, start, playing their own roles. So I want to believe at some point, IAPHL Uganda will come mainstream and begin to equally, be part of this big family. So for me personally, and I say that for every other person that needs to know, anybody that is in this space needs to be part of IAPHL. If I talk about the big dreams, I was looking at a point where IAPHL will have some sort of certification. Yeah, we advocated for that, but I know there's some constraints in the current mandate of IAPHL. So I'm one of the biggest fans of IAPHL, and I want to see the organization grow in leaps and bounds. And, yeah, truth be told, we already have carved out our niche. It's just for more people to begin to see it from my own lens. Maybe I'm overexcited, but then the truth be told, I can't think of any other, well, there are many other organizations, but then IAPHL is it for me. Yeah, inside of any other membership I have across other supply chain organizations here. I can't answer this without thinking about how my career evolved to where I am today. My first degree is in pharmacy, and I started my career working, in the Federal Ministry of Health, where I did my internship, then branched off to work as a chief pharmacist, clinical pharmacist, in an organization then called Gede Foundation, where we managed, the clinical care. And 40% of my job description then entailed the logistics, and Gede Foundation, I began to beyond that. Of course, it's a natural thing to go, beyond your career. And over and above that, from Gede Foundation, I worked on the GAIN project. That's the Global Health AIDS Initiative in Nigeria, under the auspices of Howard University, which was a very big one as well. It was about pharmacy system strengthening under Howard University. Howard University was one of the consortium partners in the GAIN project. From the GAIN project, I now joined GSI, where I actually, interface with IAPHL. And in GSI, it was logistics, and then my career evolved towards, contract management, procurement and contract management, of course, with touches on supply chain. And over time, I became very good. I had very good mentors who mentored me in the area of procurement and logistics, downstream mostly, warehousing and distribution, supply chain operations, the entire logistics, the full spectrum of things, and I was very good at what I was doing. And I was fortunate to have, very good mentors, supervisors who pushed me up, to get better at what I was doing. And I will say, of course, like I said already, IAPHL played a big role, on how my career evolved in that regards. And it was through IAPHL that I looked at getting a master's degree in procurement and logistics and supply chain management, University of Salford. A couple of us in IAPHL are, so with all due respect, I'm not a marketing University of Salford, Manchester, but I'm aware that a couple of us are, master's degree in procurement and logistics and supply chain from there. And of course, while I was doing that, very good mentorship, looking at people who were doing what we're doing. I, through, of course, the auspices of my master's degree, I applied for my full membership of this Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, because now, like I told you, naturally, somehow I was very good at what I was doing in terms of procurement and contract management. So it became, how will I say, the natural thing to do to continue to validate all the information, all the knowledge I was getting on the job. So as it is now, I'm a full chartered member of the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply. So having said all that, I will say this, that for young supply chain professionals and even my contemporaries, my mentors, of course, are people who, are continuously learning. I'll say that whatever that you are good at, whatever you're passionate about, go all out and get, all that you need to get in terms of the certification, because we learn so much on the job. IAPHL teaches us a lot of things, but it will be very good that you validate whatever you have learned, by academic certifications, not just for the purposes of getting those certifications or getting a master's degree, but tailor your career along those lines. I know there are a couple of organizations out there giving, but I'll recommend IAPHL. You know, even if you're not giving certification, we can still point you to where you're going to get those certifications and guide you in. So that's one advice I'll give. And one thing you heard me say so much about is about mentorship. Nobody rises in the career without good mentors. And then I have a couple of mentors who, I don't know, I don't want to mention it so I don't miss out any of them. But definitely, as I remember them, I will let them know I'm using this avenue to thank them, because they really propped me up, through, held my hand, gave me their shoulders to. There's a couple I have met a couple of mentors. Not too many, but then again, they played a very big role. And as I'm talking about my mentors, of course, I talk about my contemporaries. Again, quite a number of them. And then another side to it is mentorship, mentees. I actually have people I mentor, because like I say to them now, after 20 years, I'm getting younger, and I can only catch up with things when I latch on onto the new ideas they're coming up with. You understand? My contemporaries were getting younger, not older, we're getting younger. And over time we lose touch, So what will be the big thing for us will be the experience we have to support them, and then drag them up. As we're dragging them up the chain as well, we are progressing up. Our mentors are so. At the end of the day, I think, and that's where IAPHL comes in. Some of my mentors I met, I have been working with this through IAPHL. I met them. So IAPHL is a good place for that kind of collaboration, networking, where you have mentees, you have mentors, and you have your contemporaries. So that would be my advice to supply chain professionals. And the truth be told, I'm beginning to say this: we run the international, the entire development in international health programs. No commodities, no programs. So we are the people running the show. So yeah. So that would be my advice to supply chain professionals. Yeah. I'll just say people should add excellence. Just do what you're doing passionately. There's always a reward for, be very good at what you're doing, right? Yeah. integrity, excellence, good ethics. Above all, I'm beginning to think about and see that emotional intelligence, positive attitudes takes people very far, more than technical competence. So I'll add that, to what I've already said. Positive attitude, I think, is everything. And to a large extent, it has helped me in my own career. That means even in the face of negative circumstances, keep it positive. And with that good attitude, you'll go very far. Yeah. Of course, then we overlay it. I cannot, I'm not perfect, but still my faith plays a very big role, if that is allowed for me to say that. Everybody has a form of faith. But as long as what you profess in your faith is for the good of humanity, then please let's stick to our faith and yeah, make it good. And of course, if we're bringing it into our professional supply chain professionals, we're doing that for the good of, first of all, because God wants us to do that, but again, for the good of humanity. Yeah, so that would be my last words. Yes.